Hello, my beautiful people. I want to tell you a story about the day everything changed. Not overnight, not because a video went viral, not because I got lucky, and not because YouTube suddenly decided to notice me, because that's not what happened. At one point, I had 217 subscribers. We actually had 222, which was magic. And then we lost 5, so we went back down to 217. And today, that number is much higher, as you can see. But the thing that changed wasn't my subscriber count. The thing that changed was me. And so I want you to grab a snack and come on back. And in today's video, I want to talk about the biggest mistake I was making as a creator. The shift that changed everything, and why this lesson has nothing at all to do with YouTube and everything to do with life. See you after the break. Welcome to the Lexi method. The subject will change from week to week, but our mission never does. To build a life and a channel with intention. That's what we're doing here. And when I first started creating content, I thought the goal was just to make videos, right? Isn't that what we all think? And that's what the most of us think. We're just gonna come on, we're gonna make videos, and that's it. And what's today's video gonna be? What's tomorrow's video gonna be? What's the next upload? You're constantly thinking about those things, right? But eventually I learned something that changed the way I look at content forever. And I wasn't supposed to be, building videos. I was supposed to be building something bigger than that. And that's what I learned. When I had 217 subscribers, I was doing what most creators do. I was making videos, one video here, another video there, trying this, trying that, looking for traction. That's what we all do when we start, right? Looking for momentum, looking for growth. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all start there. But looking back now, I can see that I was focused on individual uploads, which most of us do in the beginning, right? It's always about just that next video. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to do? There's no cohesion. I wasn't thinking about the viewer experience at all. Wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't asking the question, what happens after somebody watches this? Wasn't asking that at all. I was asking, how do I get them to watch this one? And that's a very different question. Two very totally different questions. And sometimes the question that you're asking determines the result you're going to get. So I decided to show up. Now, I want to be clear about something, right? Everybody can't do what I did. Everybody cannot. I'm retired. I'm home all day. My daughter's at work during the day. I had time available that many people just simply don't have, especially when they're starting a YouTube channel. And because I had that time, I made a commitment. For an entire year, I showed up every single day. Really was over a year, for 365 plus days. I posted something here every single day. I made that commitment when I started on January 5th, 2025, that I was going to post every day. And I was only going to give myself 12 months here. I was going to post every single day just to see what would happen, right? Sometimes once, sometimes twice, sometimes even 3 times a day I was posting something. And for about 6 months, I live streamed every single day. And that started on June 1st, 2025. Not because I knew it would work, because I had no idea. It was suggested to me, right? But I was willing to find out. And that's a very important distinction in this whole story. A lot of people won't try something unless they know they're guaranteed success and they're guaranteed that that instant payoff, right? They're not going to try that. I was willing to experiment, and I was willing to learn. I was willing to fail publicly, right? I was willing to do that. What did I have to lose? Nothing. I had nothing to lose. And that's where the growth started for me. It started there. And what actually worked for me, right? Now, the funny thing about all this is what worked wasn't the uploading. That's not what worked. What worked was the learning. I had to put my thinking cap on. You know, every video taught me something. Every live stream taught me something. And every comment taught me something, right? I started paying attention. What made people stay? What made people leave? What made people comment? And what made people come back day after day, right? And eventually I realized something. They were looking for a place to belong. They were looking for a place to belong. And that changed everything for me. Because once I understood that, I stopped thinking like someone just posting content. I stopped thinking like that. I started thinking like someone who was building a community. And that's what this is all about. And that's what this has been about for me from the beginning. Leaving a legacy for my daughter and building a community here of like-minded, sometimes not like-minded, but of like-minded good people, building a community. So that's when the ecosystem came about. Today my channel, it looks really different. It looks very different than it did last year. And I don't upload 3 videos every day anymore. I don't live stream every day anymore, at least not right now, because now I have structure. I have programming. I have intention, and I have an ecosystem. Monday, we have a live stream. This Monday, yesterday, I didn't do a live stream because I just wasn't feeling it, you know, and that's okay. YouTube doesn't rule my life. I have a life outside of YouTube, and some days it doesn't include going live. Some days I have to take that time for myself, and that's what I did. And I posted a community post yesterday that explained why I wasn't going live, you know, for the most part. Tuesdays, we have the Lexi method, which you're watching right now. Wednesday is the Hump Day live stream. And Thursday is Life After 60 with Lexi. And Saturday we have another live stream. And then Fridays is the piece de resistance for me, which is Weight Loss After 60 Fridays with Lexi. And on Sundays we do our Sunday book club with Lexi. And there's something happening in the Lexi Lounge every single day. There is something happening every single day, but now it's happening with intention. I'm not working harder. I'm working with intention, right? There's a difference. There's a big difference. The viewer knows where to find me. You all know where to find me. Now you know, okay, Lexi has a video that comes on Tuesdays. I have one of my supporters here, the beautiful, beautiful Sunshine Sandra. I have 2 Sunshines, by the way. And Sandra, you know, she looks forward to the Sunday book club. So I look forward. I know that she's going to be there. And then I have my beautiful Serena, who's always there, leaving those beautiful comments for me, because people now are getting into the rhythm and they come back. And I look forward to them because I know they're going to be here, and I look forward to that, right? As a viewer, you know where to find me now. You know what to expect. That's a big part of the ecosystem. And you know that you belong here. You know, my viewers know that they belong here. You all know that you belong here. And that's what matters to me. More than anything else here, that's what matters to me. And the biggest mistake that I think new creators make is many of them believe that the growth comes from a single video, right? One viral moment or one lucky break, one perfect upload, but that's really how lasting growth happens. You know, it's very rare. You know, we all don't get that viral moment. We just don't. And even if we do, even if we had that 1 million+ views, right? Because that's what viral means. You know, I talk to the kids every day that come to my live streams, and they're like, guess what, Lexi, I went viral. I'm like, oh my God, you did? How many views did you have? And they tell me, right? Which, yeah, it's viral. I get 50 views on a video. That's viral for me too. That's viral for me too. So I explained to them, you know, the true definition of going viral is getting over 1 million views, right? Sometimes we get 500,000, but over 1 million views. That's what the true definition of going viral is. And a lot of people don't know that, right? But that's really how lasting growth happens, because you would think that with all those 1 million views, you're going to get 1 million subscribers. No, that's not how that works. It's not how that works. Growth happens when people trust you enough to come back. It's not just that one-time viral moment, when they trust you enough to keep coming back, right? And that trust is built through consistency. And that's what I've done this last year. Been consistent. And I have continued the whole time. I never wavered. I continued being consistent. Trust is also built through familiarity. You know, my true supporters here, you all trust me. You know me. I haven't changed. If you go back to episode 1 till now, I haven't changed. The subjects maybe have changed, but the creator has not changed. Not at all. And that's what programming does. That's what programming does. You know, you trust. Trust is built when people know what they're walking into before they even arrive, before they even click the button. You already know, yeah, Lexi's going to tell us a story. Whatever Lexi talks about, it's something that she has experienced in her own life. I'm not just pulling stuff out of my behind. It's stuff that I've experienced. And that's what I bring here to you as a sexagenarian queen that I am in my 60s. That's what I bring here to you. It's something that I've experienced. I never come and talk about something that I have not experienced unless I've learned something from that, right? I'm going to bring it to you. But other than that, we're not going to talk about things that I don't know. This is all about what I know, the wisdom that I have, the knowledge that I have, the experiences that I have had, right? I create that, you know? It creates expectations here, and that's what I do. And expectations create community. And that's what it's all about, you know? And there's a life lesson in all of this, right? The thing is, this lesson isn't really about YouTube. It's not about YouTube at all. It's about life. It's about life and our journey. You know, there are moments when we become so focused on the next step that we forget to look at the bigger picture. We forget to look at it. We become obsessed with today, obsessed, instead of paying attention to what we're building over time. Lightning, you know, getting that viral moment is lightning in a bottle, right? Or getting that, you know, you start YouTube, no views, no nothing, and then that following week, you go viral. Your channel grows. Those things are rare, you know? Those are miracles. Those things, they happen, but they're rare. They don't happen to every single person. They don't, you know? We want to, you know, build, whether we're building a channel, a business, a relationship, a health journey, or a life after 60 like myself, right? The principle is exactly the same. Sometimes everything changes when you're willing to change something. Sometimes everything changes when you and me, we are willing to change something, when we're willing to make changes. Sometimes growth begins when you're willing to try a different approach. You just can't stay stagnant and stay the same from the beginning. If I was still doing the same thing on my bed, I didn't have my Lexi Lounge studio, I didn't have Yappy, nothing, it would just be, wah, wah, there's no change. This lady's not growing, she's not doing anything, she's not changing. Nothing's happening here, right? It just arrives, you know, success arrives because you stop trying to control every outcome and you started committing to the process, right? We stopped trying to control everything. Just commit to the process. Just commit to it. And sometimes the only reason that you reach the next chapter is because you refuse to quit the current one. And that's, I think, the big takeaway here. You refuse to quit the current one. Don't quit. It doesn't matter. So you have a video that maybe got no views, or only got 1 view or 2 views or 10 views. Been there, done that, right? I don't get hundreds of views. I do when I do my live streams. That's kind of like my bread and butter here when I do my live streams. But for my videos per se, I do have a couple that have maybe over 100 views. For me, that's viral. That's viral, right? But for the most part, I don't get the views like that right now. I'm just not. And that's not to say that that's never going to happen. But we have to keep committing to the process. We have to keep committing to it and refuse to quit, right? We have to refuse to quit. Just keep committing yourself. Keep committing. You know, at one point, like I said, I had 217 subscribers. That number sticks out to me. 217 subscribers. Today, I have something far more valuable than a number. Far more valuable than a number on a screen. I have a community. I have a purpose, and I have a mission. And I have proof that consistency and curiosity and courage can take you places that fear never will. Take that risk, beloved. Don't be afraid. Jump in. You've got the experience and you've got something to say that somebody here wants to hear. So just do it. Just do it. Start today. If you don't have a channel already and you're watching me, this is your cue. I started this channel. I was 60 years old. You can do this. I wasn't even 60 and a half. I started this channel. In less than 2 months, I'm turning 62. You can do this. You can do this. You know? This lesson for me, it wasn't about YouTube at all. It really wasn't about YouTube. The lesson was about never giving up. Long enough to discover what was possible. I never gave up. And I'm still going. And I will never give up here. I never will. So what? Trolls come in. So what? There are people who are bullying and harassing. That's never going to stop me. Those people aren't here with me. They don't know where I live. They don't know where I am. And so what if they do, right? If these people came across me somewhere, they'd never say anything to me. They'd probably cross the street, right? Or they'd be kowtowing to me like, "Ah, Lexi, you're amazing." Don't let that kind of thing stop you. Just get out here and do it, right? Do it. Do it. The subject will change from week to week. But our mission, it never does. It never does. To build a life and a channel with intention. And that's what we're doing here. Reinvention with intention. We're building a channel with intention. So, on that note, I want you to know that I see you as always. We do. Yappy and I do. And I'm really proud of you. I am. And I thank you for supporting and watching. I thank you for spending part of your day with me always. Love you plenty.